That's working better. A little red. I don't know why I'm so red. I don't think saturation's too high, but I don't know how to alter that. Edit. YouTube just doesn't offer customization. Nope. Well, I can share screen too. Cool beans. I did not know that. I look very red. Oh well. Okay. This, I suppose the sound is working. All right. Let's see, sound check. Sorry. Not looking from here to here, there's no delay, but let's check that over here. Well, I'm going to check it. Y'all just, I guess you won't check it. I want to see your videos live. There we go. Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2. Ooh. Much quicker. Okay. So there's very little delay. All right. Well, that's working good. Delete that one. Okay. So that's working. Well, currently nobody's around. Yeah, I don't like this not having camera control. I wonder if, let's see, settings or device manager. Device manager. Hello. I don't think device manager is where I wanted to go. No. Okay, let's go. Computer management. Let's go to settings, see what we find. App system devices. Okay, let's go to devices. See if we can do it in our mouse. Autoplay. What's an autoplay? Oh, wait, back up. Bluetooth no devices. Brio. No, I don't want to remove the device. Nope. Okay, let's go to system components. No. Math recognizer. Windows Hello Face. I have never noticed that before. Live chat. Well, I'm just not finding any place to mess with the camera. Just display, focus, system components. Hey, Janie. Good, madam. Or good, ma'am. Not calling you a madam. Okay, cameras. Rio. Details. Oh. Well, I was trying to find a camera manager so I didn't look so red and cut the saturation down just a little bit. But there isn't one on YouTube. Yeah, there isn't one on YouTube. Oh, great news. I've got a direct connect on this computer. There's like 5 seconds of delay. Much better than almost 60 seconds on the other computer with a Wi-Fi. I tried to connect a few minutes ago and it wouldn't connect. So I fixed the lady. I fixed her sleeve. You probably couldn't see it very well on the other computer, but this sleeve was broken off here. So I made a new one. Blended it in. It's not too bad of a fix. I think I did a fairly decent job of it, but that'll increase her value. I used some DOS clay. Yeah, I used DOS clay. It's a mixture of, it's got a fiber in it, but it's clay and it dries fairly fast. It kind of reminds me of like a mix of paper mache and clay. But yeah, it works really well. And then mix some paints to match the existing, and it worked out pretty good. I like it. And now if I could just figure out how to fix the camera. I lost a knife today. It's big 10-inch knife that I use all the time in the kitchen. I can't find it anywhere. It's not in the block where it goes. It's not in the sink. It's not in the strainer. I've looked in the oven. I've looked in the refrigerator, the freezer, all the cabinets, all the drawers. The only thing I can figure, yeah, I looked in the freezer. I looked in the toaster oven. I looked in the microwave, everywhere. The only thing I can figure is I used it to get some pizzas out of the toaster oven the other day, and I may have absent-mindedly tossed it into the trash with the empty pizza boxes. An e-bathroom? Is that where you read e-books? Oh, the bathroom. Yeah, I think that must have been what I did, and unfortunately, I took the trash to the dump first thing this morning before I noticed it was missing. And then I finally got my proofs of some of my books. Ta-da! It's a good thing I did. A good thing I bought proofs because, let's see. You can see here along the edge where that blue line is. I didn't quite get the images where they should have been. That blue line shouldn't be there. That and they cut it a little crooked. But if you'd like, I could read to you some. They're actually short stories. Let's see. I help read. I was out in my garden when I looked up and saw that fucking squirrel on my roof. I threatened to stone him, but he just sat and stared, acting very aloof. I thought to be kinder as my ire arose, but that fucking squirrel, I swear, laughed when I missed him with the hose. I hadn't noticed before, but just to that fucking squirrel's rear, he had been busy chewing the hole in my roof's veneer. And just like that fucking squirrel turned about. He scampered into the hole. I wanted to shout. You see the little squirrel going in the hole? I used to read to my kids all the time. We talk about it and look at the pictures. That fucking squirrel, he was inside my roof with a poof. Oh, the mischief he might cause, the damage he could do. That fucking squirrel, it was much as I feared. He had a hidden agenda when he chewed through my rooftop veneer. And there he goes, off into the attic. That fucking squirrel, consumed with thoughts of ill deeds, he could cause certain mayhem, left to do as he pleased. And that fucking squirrel, he was pure evil, Satan's furry spawn. He began chewing on a wire while I still stood out on the lawn. And there he is, you see him get the wire. Uh-oh. Then it happened, just as I feared. That fucking squirrel got his karma in all dastardly payments and arrears. Uh-oh. And so as it goes for that fucking squirrel, ashes to ashes and dust to dust. But wait, he wasn't the only one about to get fucked. Uh-oh. Oh no. Though that fucking squirrel was done for, it wasn't time for a beer. The attic caught fire. Disaster was near. When I saw the smoke rising, I knew right then the situation was dire. That fucking squirrel, he'd caught my house on fire. Frantic, I dialed 911, and I was in such a state would help arrive before it was too late. I turned on the spigot and tried to put it out myself, but my very small hose wasn't much help. The firemen came prepared for the worst and ready their equipment to combat the chaos caused by that fucking squirrel. The firemen battled the blaze caused by that fucking squirrel for almost an hour. By then I was ready for a good nap and a shower. See me over there, I'm tired, I'm pooped. Finally, the blaze had been extinguished. The fire was out, and that fucking squirrel got what he had coming, no doubt. With a big check from the insurance company, I could afford to repair the damage done by that fucking squirrel. And there he is. There I am up on the ladder fixing the roof. And there's my tools. I had to put the garden hose away, too. Let's see. After all the excitement, it's time to relax and enjoy my new hobby, keeping those fucking squirrels off my roof. The end. That's it. Now go away. It says, R. Conklin is an old guy that lives somewhere in the South who enjoys quiet mornings, taking naps, and considers shaking his cane at noisy children part of his exercise regimen. Of course, I used AI to draw all the images. And yeah, I mean, it really helped out a lot. I was thinking I was going to draw them all out myself and all that, but story time at the library, yeah. They would fucking love my stories. But that was fun. Something I wanted to do, I got her done. wasn't real difficult. A little bit of a pain. You go to lulupress.com and you can download a PDF, and it's a template for how things should go. It's got your cover and your back, and it's got your interior pages, and like you could do. It's got a nice glossy finish to it and everything, and uh, but anyway, let's see, you get that done. I mean, you could do like family photos and vacation photos, make a little vacation book and things like that. And now my cost is $8.67 for this one, plus I think it was $6 shipping for me to buy my own copy. But on the sale ones, I set them all to 15 because Lulu takes their share of the profits when they're just straight sales to other people. But it's pretty neat. Oh, and I made a calendar too, but I didn't get that yet. But this one was, let's see. Yeah, that's my favorite image that I came up with. That's my favorite image there. It's the story of my first prostate exam. That's my favorite image. The calendar, I just did me in different months of the year. I think it was in January. I've got myself looking out of the door of an igloo, freezing my butt off and stuff like that, with little memes and stuff. Nothing too raunchy, so I could send them to my kids or my brothers or whatever. And then another one I made was the Legend of Randandy. That one the kids can read, so I'm gonna make the kids copy, my grandkids copies of those. And then they'll have something from Grandpa. But I wish I had known about this back when my kids were little, because that would have been pretty cool to take vacation photos and then make a little book out of it for them to keep as a keepsake. That would have been awesome. Plus the scouts and all that stuff we did, camping. And for those you can upload real photos. I made ham and cheese sandwiches for my breakfast. Speaking of glucose tests, I did one finger the other day. It came up, I mean, it had been like 82, 92, and it came up 353 in this finger. I'm like, whoa. So I checked the finger beside it. It came up to 243. That's quite a big difference in two fingers. I might need to check my glucose meter. I don't know. I know if you've got test strips near the expiration date, they don't work right. Yeah, I guess this finger is sweeter than this one. So I'll just start stirring my coffee with this one. But yeah, I've been doing bunch of stuff. I counted out about 50 stacks of cards yesterday. Let's see, 10, 250, about a thousand cards. I counted them out into stacks of 25 and got them all packaged. So I got Magic the Gathering, Pokemon cards, and another one, Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't know. I know my grandson likes it, whatever, the Yu-Gi-Oh, Yogi, something. It's one of those anime cartoons like Dragon Ball Z. But anyway, I've got this all packaged and ready for the flea market. I haven't decided if I want to sell the lady or not. It's pretty interesting. It's Italian. It's signed down here by the artist, and it's number 8 of 3,500 that were made. It's got all that information down here at the base. Yeah. Oh, and I cleaned my bathroom. That nice, pretty mirror, stained glass mirror with the iridescent glass around it. I took out my old mirror and put that up in the bathroom and cleaned it up. Well, that's me. I want to do things. I plan on doing things, and I wind up sleeping, playing on a computer, and not getting those things done. And then when I finally do get to gumption and I start doing things, I get into it. And yesterday too, I did all that with the cards, cleaned the bathroom, rearranged it, did load the laundry, and while the laundry was going, I went out and swept and mopped the kitchen, did a sink load of dishes. I was full of it yesterday, and now today I'm kind of jittery, sitting around with nothing to do. I've already been to the dump this morning. I think I always have the energy. It's the gumption that I lack. I posted a meme earlier. According to Google, my style of creativity is also called ADHD hyperfocus. So that might be in there. I can see that. But then I should probably stay off of Google and WebMD and diagnosing myself. It never leads to any good. Yeah, the problem with that is I'm more interested in getting it done rather than paying attention to the detail, and then I wind up having to go back and fix a bunch of things because I didn't pay attention to the detail. Like cutting the edges of these books because I didn't have a line to quite right. I didn't read through all the instructions. That's what the problem was. Yeah, I went back and read the instructions last night. So you must be an analytical thinker. I'm a global thinker. Now, the difference between the two is if you speak to an analytical thinker and you say, what was that movie you saw last night about? They will tell you the names of the people in the movie, all the details. They started out in Rivendell and they traveled through this. They met a bear. They did this. They did that, and they wound up and they took the ring back to Mordor and all the details of it. Whereas a global thinker, when you asked about the same movie, will say, "Well, yeah, it was The Hobbit," and let you fill in the rest. They both see the same picture in their mind, but when they explain the detail, it's different. Yeah, I saw a lady talking about that on a TED Talk or something years and years ago. Yeah, yeah, very. See, now that's like my older brother. My older brother thinks that reading the manual that tells you how to operate the VCR is interesting conversation topic. And it's not. Push play, rewind, pause. That's all I need to know. Oh no. Well, he's into detail too. If you go out in his garage where he works on his motorcycles and cars and stuff, all his tools are nice and shiny. He's got all the cabinets, and you open it up, and they're all lined up, you know, by size and neatly laying in there. And if you open up my toolbox, they're all just thrown in there, and you got to dig through it. Well, I've done that too. I read the car manual. So the types of thinking or speaking, the types of thinking are the same. The types of speaking and explaining it are what's different. They're both the same thought process, just that the analytical thinker likes to include all the details so that the person knows exactly what they're talking about. Of course, the global thinker just throws it out there and says, "Yeah, you fill in the details." Oh, I know it. I've avoided using my bathroom sink because I got it all cleaned up and polished, and I went and I put a coat of wax on it and got it all nice shiny. Now I don't want to use the bathroom sink because it'll mess it up and leave water spots. And of course, I used it this morning and I had to wipe it down, dry it off, and you know, and that's a pain in the butt. I don't want to have to do that all the time. Yeah, exactly. I want it to just stay like that. But no, that's not going to happen. Well, except for the oversaturation of color, the picture on this computer's better. I'm really not that red. I do need to shave, though. Yeah, and I've got, well, I start off on Mondays, usually, with all clean dishes. And then I'll eat dinner Monday. And as soon as I'm done with dinner, I'll wash all my dishes. Sometime around Tuesday or Wednesday, I get lazy and I set them in the sink and I put some water in them. And I'll get to them here in a little bit. I'm going to go do something else. And then by Thursday or Friday, I've got a sink full of dishes. Because I didn't stick with the plan. Well, see, I tried to do that. I tried to do it as I go. The big pots and pans, I do because I know if you leave that stuff in there, it's just going to get caked on and be harder to get out. But as far as the knives and forks, I've even got a big sour cream container, empty, of course, that I'll fill up with water, and I'll drop all my knives and forks in there with a little bit of dish detergent, and that way they won't dry up. Yeah. Well, I've gotten slightly better at things. I try to do it as I go as much as I can. That seems to make my life feel more peaceful, less anxiety. Well, I've done a few things. Like I went through all my kitchen cabinets one day and I looked at like there was a mixer and toaster and just things in there I hadn't used in years, just shoved back into cabinets. And then a mix of mixed match pots and pans and 5 serving spoons and this and that. I'm like, I don't need all this. I've got a toaster oven to make toast. I don't need the toaster. It went in trash. I haven't used the mixer since I don't know when. It went in the trash. I don't need 5 serving spoons. And I'll tell you what, if I have 5 serving spoons, 5 serving spoons will wind up sitting in the sink dirty until I need one again. And then I'll do the dishes. So I just threw a bunch of that stuff out and got things organized. I have one set of pots and pans, one good frying pan, one baking I got the bread making size one for meatloaf, and then the big pan for fish sticks and brownies. Less seems better. But then I've got other things, like I got a water filter system, and it's sitting under the sink waiting to be attached because I've got to go to Lowe's. I've got to get a T-piece so I can run the regular faucet, and then I want to run another hose over to the filter and run it to its own spigot. I'm going to take out where that hose comes up out of the sink. I'm going to put an individual spigot in there that'll come out of the water filter for drinking water and cooking water. Because we're all in a well here, and I see a lot of sediment in the water. I'm not real particularly fond of drinking that. I'll turn the water on sometime and it'll be cloudy. That's not a good sight. That gives me the heebie-jeebies. And that's coming from somebody who used to drink out of the creek as a child. Or the creek, depending on which part of the country you're from. Yeah, years ago, years and years ago, I was going to get into the water filter business. Just when they started coming out, I was trying to sell them. I'd go and do floors at people's houses, and I'd bring up the filters and, yeah, check them out. And one of the ways we showed them was we would take one bowl of tap water and one bowl of water that came out of the filter and set it down in the front of the dog or the cat. And they would turn up their noses at the tap water and go drink the filtered water. Because they could, especially city water, they could smell the chlorine in it. Well, you can get an at your tap filter. You can actually get one that just screws right onto the nozzle there. You don't have to go through all the trouble of doing all the hoses and everything. I just got that because the lady beside me at the flea market had one brand new in a box. I looked it up. It was a $500 filter. And she wanted $15 for it. So I snatched it up. And eventually I get around to hooking it up. Yeah, I'm not a big water drinker anyway, so any kind of flavor or whatever, just I don't like. I like my water coffee flavored and soda flavored, Dr. Pepper flavored. Yeah, I'm back where I do my artwork and stuff. On this computer, I've got an Ethernet connection. It's not Wi-Fi. I tried to go on earlier on the other computer, which goes through the Wi-Fi, and it was stuttering or whatever you want to call it. It wasn't a good connection. It did that yesterday too when I tried to go live. Might be time to reboot that computer. It's like this one. Last time this one was shut off, the power went out. I'm very seldom turn off the computer. It's actually bad for your computers to turn them off and on. The reason I was told is because all the components inside the computer and the circuit boards will cool down and they'll shrink, and then you turn it back on and it warms up and they expand again. They can keep contracting and expanding, contracting and expanding. And I was told that that was bad for them, so I never turn it off. I think this one's been turned off 5 times in the last 8 years. Wow, 87. Mine hasn't gotten that bad since I put that new roof coating on last year. It stayed a lot cooler in here. I'm glad I did that. Oh, what is the temperature right now? It's 88 degrees outside. It's not horrible, but it's not nice. Yeah, they were saying a few weeks ago that the heat wave was going to shift to the other side of the country for a while. And y'all being right in the middle, probably going to get it both ways. Oof. 101 feels like 110, 111. Now in Arizona and California, 101, it's hot, but it's dry hot. If you've got any humidity, though, that makes all the difference in the world. Yeah, I couldn't stand it down in like Houston, New Orleans, down through the bottom half of 20, I-20. The humidity was horrible there. I couldn't imagine back in the old days before air conditioning. Yeah, it was one day here. What was it? 87% humidity. That wasn't any fun at all. Holy cow. Well, I'm almost embarrassed to say what mine is. Mine was $64 last month. And I'm running 3 AC units. But I've tried really, really hard to keep everything turned off. Now in February, January, I might get a bill for around 200 because I don't have a central heat and AC unit. I've got the little electric heaters I use. But that's between me being very particular about having all the lights on, keeping things turned off, and that new roof coating, I think, is what's done it. And now, and see, I keep my AC. I think this one's on 64. The one in the living room's on 68. But I believe it's just as easy to maintain 68 degrees than it is to maintain 72 degrees once the temperature gets down. But like you said, when it's 100 degrees out, it's 80 something inside. Yeah, the cost of living's horrible. And my parents said the same thing, though. So I probably don't have the square footage you have either. I think I've got 660 square feet, which is more than enough for me, but yeah, or just, yeah, if you had one to put in like the bedrooms and just keep those cool at night, turn everything else off and just keep the bedrooms cool so you can sleep comfortably. That might help too. But then again, another thing I've done, I didn't have a unit in this my workshop in the center before, but now that I do, I think that's probably helping keep the rest of the house cool as well. Oh, I know that feeling. Now, when I'm finally getting a little freedom. When I started out doing the flea market, everything I was getting at auction, I was putting on credit cards. But after a year of that, I'm finally at the point where now I'm actually able to pay for the items I'm getting at auction. which is allowing me to take all that money and put it back to pay off all those credit cards and get that back in good, get that out of the way. Yes, I'm not financially in the clear, but I'm doing better. It is. It's terrible. I mean, I've gone to like hamburger meat. I used to throw a pound of hamburger in my spaghetti or pound of sausage or whatever. I've gone to doing a half pound. Like $7 a pound for hamburger meat now. Yuck. Yuck. I can't do ground turkey. I've tried. I can't do it. It's not the same. I can put all the spices in the world in there and I can still taste that turkey. Well, that's good if you can't tell the difference. Well, I've got a food processor. I'll boil some chicken thighs and I'll make some chicken salad. I had some chicken in the processor a couple weeks back, and I went to the refrigerator to get something. I got sidetracked, and I started doing something in the fridge and left the chicken in the processor on going a little bit too long. I'll come back. I had chicken pudding. I mean, it tasted the same, but it definitely wasn't the same texture. Well, no, the like the deep fried chicken burger type things. Those are pretty good. Where they do like a boneless fillet and batter it and deep fry it, make a sandwich. Those are good. Yeah, chicken pate. Yeah, like normally I just do kind of a light grind through the processor. And yeah. I stuck it in the fridge overnight and it thickened back up. It was kind of soupy. Yeah. Or you could make chicken patties with it and dip those in batter. Like you're making a hamburger, just do. Maybe like dip them in some melted butter and put them into uh, the flour cornmeal mix or whatever, the batter mix. unless it's a wet batter mix, and dip them in there. And my mother used to do squash. She used to dip it in pancake batter to get us to eat vegetables. And we sit there and pour syrup on them and eat them just like little pancakes. They were pretty good. Yeah, I like that yellow squash. I think it's summer squash is what it's called. Now, I don't know if I've had a squash casserole. I do like a spinach souffle, though. I need to make one. I haven't made one in a long time. Yeah, I need to start doing things like that, like putting zucchini in my spaghetti. Get a few more vegetables besides tomatoes. I eat a lot of tomato based products. Pineapple chunks are also good in spaghetti. Something about that sourness of the pineapple and the sweetness of the marinara sauce goes really well together. And then the pineapple's warm too. Oh, I couldn't type in the dark either. I've tried. Really? Peanut butter and tomato stuff? Hmm. Like what? What kind of peanut butter and tomato combinations? Because my taste buds are not seeing it. Peanut butter sandwich dipped in chili. Hmm. Maybe a grilled peanut butter sandwich. That seems kind of reasonable. Right, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. A grilled peanut butter sandwich dipped in chili. Maybe even a grilled peanut butter banana sandwich dipped in chili might be good. Hmm. I'm going to have to try that. I have dipped my PBJs in chicken soup. That's a good combination. I have not tried the other, though. Huh. Well, I see my mom was born in Florida, but we lived in New York. But it's entirely possible that we might have missed out on that northern staple. And as far as my father's cooking, the only thing I know that he knew how to cook was baked beans. they were good. It's actually he'd just get a can of pork and beans and have ground hamburger. First, he cooked ground hamburger, put it with a can of pork and beans, and then he squeeze in about a cup of ketchup and about a quarter cup of mustard, and it really was good. It's a meal by itself, really. Really, they serve that in school. The only thing I remember from school lunches was chicken fricassee and rubbery pizza. And the chicken, I mean, the pizza would always tasted the same, but the chicken fricassee was always a hit or miss. There was no consistency in the flavor of it. Oh, probably, yeah, and we've had it with the hot dogs. My mom did that. But if you try the hamburger, it takes it in a whole new direction flavor. But it's basically the same recipe you're talking about, except the brown sugar. I don't think he did brown sugar. Now when it comes to like meatloaf and mashed potatoes, then I'm a mixer upper. I like the meatloaf and my mashed potatoes. Yeah, now I have heard of these crazy people in the Midwest that actually put spaghetti noodles with their chili. Yeah, if it's not a dish that I can mix everything together, I eat in circles. I have to force myself to eat different things. Really, spaghetti noodles and chili. Hmm. Now, see, now, chili is normally something I'll put sour cream, cheese, onions, and a chunk of cornbread in it and mix it all together. I don't know about the noodles. It just doesn't seem natural. Yep, corn and chili's good too. I have done that before. You know what? I quit buying corn. Corn is not one of my staples any longer. I used to love cream corn as a kid. Even cream corn from scratch is the best. Yeah, I mean, we won't get into details, but I mean, but if your body's not actually digesting the corn, what's the point of eating it? And it just turns to sugar anyway. So it's another good reason for cutting the corn out. And I haven't had the opportunity to try the cold potato thing. I think I'll have to make some potato salad. Yeah, now I'll take onions, maybe bacon bits and cheese, and mix it in there with my cornbread mix. So I'll do collard greens, black-eyed peas, and cornbread. That's a fairly decent Southern meal. Yeah, I used to be a spicy food person, not so much anymore. I don't know how many gallons of Texas Pete I might have gone through in my lifetime. I even made a salad last week to go with my spaghetti to add some vegetables to my diet. I am though. Next time I remember to. Next time I'm in Dollar General, I'm gonna look at a multivitamin. I think I'll add a multivitamin to my diet. I don't do a large amount of fresh produce, so I need to work on that. I was for a while. I had gone to the doctors, and the nutritionist hooked me up with this thing where I went to the store. I could get $60 worth of fresh produce every month. But that program ran out. I think it got cut. Yeah, I could probably use some more sunshine exposure, because even out at the flea market, I've got a roof over my head, so I don't stand out in the sun. So I don't get it. I think, what is that, vitamin D? Or it makes your body produce vitamin D? But I've never been big on the health food. My older brother's a health food fanatic. He drinks kelp and makes protein shakes with it and stuff, and does protein, and he's in worse health than I am. And he quit smoking 20 years ago. I'm very pink, pinkish purpley, kind of a violet. On my screen, anyway. I wonder if I look like that on the phone. It could be my TV. I might have the saturation too high on the television. I'm Violet, Violet. They need to roll me off to the dejuicing room. Mm, yeah, I'm kind of violet on the phone too. Yeah, that was a kind of interesting fact I came across the other day. I've probably heard it before, but uh, we don't actually see purple. Purple is a color that our brain makes up because the rods and cones or whatever don't that they don't translate the color purple. I just need my belly squished. Belly squish, maybe a little Botox up in here. Get it to plump out again. And some hair transplants. I could get them to get the hair that's growing out of my ears and put it on my forehead up in here. You know, I'd like to hang upside down. I'd probably pass out, but it seems like that would feel really good on my back just to let it stretch out and expand a little bit. One of those big round things they put you in. Yeah, exactly. Spinal decompression. But let's see. I go pick up some stuff from auction yesterday. Nothing. I don't think there was anything fantastic. Yeah, I know the chiropractor, or was it the chiropractor or just a regular doctor? Anyway, one of them said I had like 3 vertebrae that were kind of out of whack and stuff, but I don't think it was anything horrible. I didn't like the chiropractor. See, what did I win? Oh, I did get a Sally Ride astronaut Barbie. It wasn't a lot of value, but it's kind of a unique item to have. Yeah, all I've want to see, what am I picking up here? 1, 2, 3. I've only got 4 items. Okay. Pokemon cards, something from Halo, some Funko Pops, and a Braun Brothers apple pie ceramic thing. See a lot of them with a cherry, but you don't see those apples very often. Yeah, the Sally Ride thing that's kind of cool. That'd be neat for somebody that's into space or science fiction, whatever, to have in their Barbie collection. I was talking to my daughter earlier. She's building dog houses out of pallets that her husband's brought home. I think he's doing construction or something. They said they use them to stack bricks on so that there's no gaps in between the boards on the pallets. So she's going to build her some dog houses with them. They collect German Shepherds. They've got, I think, 4. I think they've got 4 now. She said the delivery people won't come further than the end of her driveway. She's got them all chained up and everything and running around the yard, but the backyard, but they hear them barking and they don't want anything else to do with them. I don't blame them. I think her goal is to breed them, breed the puppies, because she's got all the AKC papers and everything that came with them. It's kind of funny because, German Shepherds have some loud barks. I'll be talking with her on the phone and they'll see a squirrel out the window and all of them are barking. She's like, what? What? Just a minute. Would you be quiet? At least she doesn't talk to them in baby talk, because they'll never learn good English if they talk to them in baby talk. Well, let's see. Yeah, I need to go do the glucose test, see if I need another shot, start some dinner, because it's about 3 o'clock here. Nope, I never say anything important. I was just saying that I think I need to go do it's about time for me to go do my glucose test and start some dinner before I take a nap. That's all. So I've been on here 1 hour and 17 minutes. Alrighty. Let's see. Yeah, the YouTube streaming software is working pretty good here. And see, we've got an option for share screen down here. I don't know what else you can do. I haven't really explored it. I bet you could do, I wonder if you could do sharing StreamYards. Hey there, Phil. I'm just getting ready to sign off of here. Well, thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. You missed story time. All right. It's time to go make some lupper. And we'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good one. Thanks for stopping in. Bye now. Or like the Queen. My mother taught me that. You do it like you're screwing in a light bulb to be like the Queen. All right. See y'all.